So Tory Lanez released his new album Memories Don't Die March 2nd. It has 18 songs and it runs for 1 hour and 11 minutes. The album cover, we see Tory sitting on a stool with balloons that have a smile and X's for eyes. And anchoring the balloons are Polaroids of Tory at various stages of his life, which reinforces the title of the album because a photo of a past event triggers the memory of said event, and it's as if the event was happening in the present. So I thought the album cover was a pretty interesting take. Singles, we have Shooters, Skirt Skirt, Real Thing, and BID. Standouts, we have track 2, Old Friends times New Foes. Tory starts the song off singing and then switches the beat and unleashes an onslaught of bars. He says, "Didn't love me at the bottom, but want to love me at the top," which is true. When you're, struggling to, become successful, people don't really rock with you like that. It's only after you go past their expectations and, become wildly successful that they want to come around. Then we have Shooters. On this record, Tory swag raps over the beat. And the trumpets, they sound similar to those used on the song Trophies by Drake. Then we have track 4, For Me. Tory lists the things he's done for himself as well as for someone else. And he asks, "What have you done for him?" And then we have track 8, Hate to Say. Tory breaks down his come up while flexing on the beat. He also touches on prior beefs, including a fight with Travis Scott and the picture he took with Drake. Then we have track 12, Dance for Me featuring Nav. Tory discusses a woman who was playing her position as the side piece, and out in public they don't acknowledge each other, but behind the scenes it's a different story entirely. Then we have track 13, Pieces featuring 50 Cent. This record tells the story of a kid whose pops was murdered as a result of his cousin, whom he sexually assaulted. The boy was shielded from this by his mom, and upon hearing this, he killed her and turned the gun on himself. I thought it was a pretty interesting choice to choose 50 Cent for this record because we know that 50 Cent, he was shot several times. And he also lost his mom at a young age too. So I thought that was a pretty interesting collab on that record. And then we have track 17, Happiness times Tell Me. On this record, Tory tells the story of his father sitting him down and telling him his mother passed when he took her to the doctor. And on the second half of this record, he asks how you feel about him in regards to his music and come up. And so, yeah, for that record, I thought it was pretty telling too. Tory, he's been through a lot, losing his mother. He was talking about coming home in the rain and whatnot. And his sister ran past him crying, and he asked her what was wrong, and she didn't say anything. And then that's when he found out the news. So something like that, you don't ever forget. Sleepers, we have track 11, BBWW times Fake Show. We have track 14, Connection featuring Fabulous, Davil, and Paloma 4. And then we have track 16, Hypnotize. Throwaways, we have Skirt Skirt. Even though it's a single, it's a throwaway for me. My personal favorites are track 2, Old Friends times New Foes, Shooters, For Me, Benevolent, Real Thing featuring Future, Hate to Say, BID, 48 Floors featuring Mansa, Dance for Me featuring Nav, Hillside featuring Wiz Khalifa and Mansa, Happiness times Tell Me, and Don't Die. My overall conclusion, Tory plays with two parting songs. For example, with tracks 2, 6, 10, 11, 12, and 17, he starts the song off with one particular beat, and he's either rapping or singing, and then in the next vein, he switches up the beat and switches up his flow. So I thought that was a pretty interesting technique used throughout the album. And he displays his versatility by switching between singing and rapping, as I was stating before. He's a Very versatile artist. The track Hypnotized, he uses the same piano keys as the song 1-800-273-8255 by Logic. And the song sounds close to a Chainsmokers song, but it has a Caribbean drum kit over it. So it was pretty interesting. And I noticed throughout the album he was talking about how he samples other people's stuff and how people criticize him for doing that and whatnot, but he doesn't really care, which there's nothing wrong with sampling. You know, everybody's influenced by someone. So I just thought that was a pretty interesting tidbit. And then we have, I thought it was interesting how he started the album off with the opening track Memories, and then he ends it with the song Don't Die. And that basically ties this entire album together because that's the album title. So I thought that was pretty creative as well. And for me personally, I thought this was his best body of work. You know, I've heard previous bodies of work by Tory, but this right here is his most impressive to me. And in that same vein, I gave the album 17 out of 18, which comes out to a 94%. So overall, great effort put forth by him. As far as albums that I've heard this year, this and Victory Lap are the two ones I would say are in the running for album of the year once award season comes around. And so if you're a fan of Tory Lanez, be sure to pick up this album. If you enjoyed my review, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.